Hello there, welcome back. This is Sheepishly here once again. I have just run 100 maps of the Tier 16 Harvest Rush strategy. Trust me when I say this is the easiest money you'll make in this league. Now just to be clear, I wasn't convinced before I tried it, but across the 100 maps I did, I made a conservative 42 divines return, and that's pure profit, and it came out to be something like 17 divines an hour, which is very respectable given how easy and straightforward this farm is. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now to quickly go over the setup, so here we've got 100 tier 16 8 mod corrupted dunes maps, which is what we'll be testing today, and the Scarab setup is actually super straightforward as well. You have one Harvest Scarab of doubling, which is probably the most expensive part of this farm, plus 4 sack fragments just to add a little bit of quantity to your maps, and that's it. Now, in terms of the Atlas tree, we take all 4 of these harvest wheels, as well as a reduced chance for purple and blue plants to spawn, to focus on yellow plants. Since Harvest is only scaled by item quantity as well as pack size, we take all the map effect modifiers on top of the tree, as well as the entire quant wheel in the middle. And for supporting mechanics, we're taking up some Scarab nodes, map nodes to drop tier 17s and tier 16.5s, as well as Baptized by Fire, so we can generate more Searing Exarch invitations. Lastly, we do come up top and take the chance for memory tears, but this is completely optional. If you don't like doing these quests, you don't have to, just spend the rest of your points into more Scarab chances. Alright, let's come over here to a quick map showcase. When you first load into the Dunes map, the first thing you want to do is quickly clear out a couple of packs near the portal just to proc the Searing Exarch influence. The next thing you want to do is actually make a beeline towards the harvest itself. You don't really care about full clearing the map, it is a harvest rushing strategy after all. Harvest makes up like 90% of the profit anyways. And when you're in the harvest, the order of harvesting you should be doing, it's yellow seeds followed by blue seeds followed by purple seeds, and that is determined by the market price of the life forces. Now, yellow juice is much more expensive than the blue and the purple ones. I think it's double the price at the moment, so definitely focus on the yellow ones first. Now the hard part is that what happens if you have 2 really good yellow ones, how do you decide between them? Then you've got to look for the tier 3 seeds. Now these seeds are the blue colored ones, they're quite obvious, and it's really easy, you just kind of pick the one with the most tier 3 seeds and you're good to go. So it's really straightforward, simple strategy, nothing as convoluted as crop rotation for example. And there you go, we are just under a minute 30 and we're done with the map. We can portal out and go to the next one. Simple as that. It is such a straightforward and fast-paced strategy, super easy, and incredibly profitable. Alright, let's see what we got after 100 maps. Starting from the top, I've got all the life forces from the farms. I've split them up by sets of 10. For example, in my last set of 10 maps, I got 5,700 purple juice, 14,000 yellow juice, and 5,600 blue juice. Across the 100 maps though, we've got in total 50,000 purple juice, 74,000 blue juice, and lastly the key moneymaker, which is the yellow life forces. We've got 137,000 of these. So we average 1,400 yellow juice on average per map, which is pretty solid. And this is a fairly consistent profit as well. It's not like crop rotation where you could be making losses for a couple of runs before you swing back the other way and start making profit. This is consistent the whole way through. Coming down here to go through some of the other drops, I've got 1 Sacred Blossom here. We've also dropped 7 Fortress maps across the 100 map test, which is pretty solid considering we're now full clearing maps and we're just making a beeline towards the harvest. In terms of invitations, we've got 4 incandescent invitations and I am actually 23 out of 28 for another one. We've also dropped 3 Echoes of Reverences and 1 Echo of Loneliness. Now, Egan memory chains were a little bit awkward to run because it kind of takes you out of the rhythm of mapping. You have to talk to Egan, do a boss rush for like 4 or 5 maps. And if you get Echo of Reverence, that's pretty good, but if the reward is an Echo of Loneliness, you feel like it's a little bit of a waste of time. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you don't like to run Egan memory strands, that's fine. I'm sure it's not too big of a loss of profit. And lastly, we've dropped 2 Fortunate cards just because we're running Dunes. Now coming over to Wealth the Exile, I just run it on the whole tab, and you can see that across the 100 maps, we've made 62 divines. Now this is some very respectable revenue numbers, considering that I was running each of these maps for a minute and a half each. So the full 100 map task took me just a little bit over 2.5 hours, which is really solid divines per hour if you think about it. Now in terms of costs, the costs have gone up a little bit. Harvest Scarab of doubling, I was buying these for 10C a pop. Now they're 15C each, which is a little bit more expensive. Now for these 8 mod Dunes maps, I just bought them random from TFT, so they were like 5C each. If you want to use a regex that's a little bit expensive, I think something like 7C each is reasonable. But you can definitely get these off async trading through Faustus. It's probably cheaper as well, but it definitely might take you a little bit more time just to load into different people's hideouts and search for the maps yourself. Now, in terms of sack fragments, those have gone up in price as well. Midnights are about 2C each, but you can get all the other sack fragments for just under 1 chaos, so I'm gonna count 5 chaos for the whole set. This means that across the 100 maps, we spent 15 chaos for the Harvest Scarab of Doubling, 7 chaos for the map, and 5 chaos for the sack fragments, which is 27 chaos altogether. That's our per map investment, which across 100 maps is 2,700 chaoses, which in today's terms is 137 to 1 roughly. It's about 137. So altogether, we invested just under 20 divines for the 100 maps, which is quite a bit. The cost of this strategy has definitely gone up a little bit over the past couple of days, which makes sense given that we made 62 divines in revenue, and if you were to take away the 20 divines in cost, we still made 42 divines across 2.5 hours, which is fine because this farm is still incredibly profitable. We made 62 divines, and if we spend 20 divines for it, it means that we've made a profit of 42 divines, and that's across roughly 2.5 hours, which means that we made something like 17 divines an hour. Well, that's it. That's the result of my 100 map test for the Tier 16 Harvest Rush strategy. As always, if you enjoy my content, please give me a like and subscribe. Oh, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.